Today, let us learn about the great personality named Albert Einstein. The lesson number 4, A Truly Beautiful Mind, is taken from the book Beehive. So, let us see the picture of Albert Einstein. He was a great scientist. He loved mathematics, physics, music, and human being at large. We can see from the introduction. In the introduction, it is mentioned that he was a great scientist. The title of the chapter, A Truly Beautiful Mind, refers to Albert Einstein. This is a short biography. Biography means a book written by someone else, of his where some of his qualities have been highlighted. Albert's interest in mathematics and physics, and also his humanitarian attribute. Humanitarian means human values, thought for human being, love for human being. Attribute means qualities. The title of the chapter, A Truly Beautiful Mind, makes one think, wonder means think, that how can a scientist's mind be beautiful? It is so because in this lesson we come across another aspect of Einstein, another area of Einstein. Einstein was not only a scientist, he not only loved mathematics and physics, he also loved human being. He also loved the world. He loved the people of the world. He wanted to maintain peace, non-violence in the world. He was a humanitarian. Humanitarian means lover of human being, love for human being. He advocated, he spread or taught world peace, non-violence, and that is why the title refers to him as a truly beautiful mind. So now I hope you have understood the meaning of a truly beautiful mind and to whom it is referred. Definitely it is referred to Albert Einstein because he was a good human being and he had a really good thought for the world and for the people of the world. Now let us go through the summary of the chapter of the lesson. Albert Einstein was born on 14th March in 1879 in the German city of Ulm. Till the age of 2.5 years, he could not speak, and when he started speaking, he spoke every word twice. His playmates considered him to be boring, and his mother thought that he was crazy because of the abnormally large size of his head. At school, his headmaster regarded him as stupid and good for nothing, but he proved them all wrong. So we have come to know about Albert Einstein, that he was born on 14 March 1879 in the German city of Ulm. When he was 2.5 years old, he was not able to speak. And when he started speaking, at that time also he was speaking every word twice. His friends considered him that he was very boring. His mother also thought that he had a large head, and his mother also thought that this child is a little abnormal type of person. And then again when he was going to school, at school also his headmaster called him stupid because he considered him that he was a duffer, he knew nothing. The headmaster was passing comment on Albert Einstein by saying that he was good for nothing, that he doesn't know anything. These kind of negative comments came to Albert Einstein. But he proved them all wrong. But now we come to know that how he proved everyone wrong, that he was not duffer, he was not stupid, he was not abnormal. He was a good human being. So he has outshined himself by proving himself as a good human being, as a good learner, and he became a scientist. So we don't need to tell anything about him. He has proved himself. At the age of 6, at the insistence of his mother, when his mother pressurized, insistence means when his mother was repeatedly saying that you should learn music, then he started playing violin. Violin is a musical instrument like guitar. So he started playing violin and he became very much expert in violin. He became a gifted violinist. So he learned how to play violin. So those who know how to play violin are called violinists. At the age of 15, his family, his mother, father, and family member went to Munich. Munich is a place name. Munich. He did not feel comfortable with the strict discipline at the school and left it. So when they had gone to a new place named Munich, there was a school, and in that school he was studying. That school was very strict and he felt very much awkward in that school. He was not able to adjust himself in that school. So he left the school. On completing his schooling, he joined the university at Zurich because the atmosphere there was more liberal and accepted new ideas and concepts. So after schooling, he went to the university at Zurich. So there he felt that there was so much freedom and his ideas and people's ideas were accepted in that university. So he was feeling very happy. So he began to grow in that university. He began to develop himself in that university. So he loved that university. He showed more interest in physics and mathematics. So now he developed more interest in physics and mathematics. He met a fellow student. He met a girl named Milvia Marek at that university. She was equally intelligent and clever. She was also intelligent and clever like Albert Einstein. She was equally intelligent and clever. Later on, they married. Later on, they married and had 2 sons. But unfortunately, their marriage did not survive and were divorced in 1919. So they fell in love and both of them worked together and they had 2 sons. Unfortunately, their marriage did not last long. They got divorced in 1919. And children, I hope you remember the First World War started in 1914 and ended in 1919. So in that year, in 1919, they got divorced. After completing his education, Albert worked as a technical expert in the patent office at Bern. Bern is a place name where there was an office. Patent office means the office who has the authority to carry out invention and discovery. Here he worked secretly on his idea on relativity. So he was working secretly on his idea on relativity. In 1915 he published his paper on special theory of relativity following the world famous equation E equal mc square. So he published his paper on special theory of relativity followed by the world famous equation E equal mc square. In 1915 he published his paper on general theory of relativity, which gave an absolutely new definition to the concept of gravity. So he was making one after another. So he was proving himself by publishing paper one after another. So he was becoming famous. This theory made him a famous figure. He became famous. In 1919, during the solar eclipse, his theory in 1919 during the solar eclipse, his theory came out to be accurate, exact, and revolutionized physics. Physics became very popular in that year. In 1933, he immigrated. He moved to the USA as Nazis had come to power in Germany. So Nazi party in Germany had become very powerful. So he fled. He went to America and he settled in America. He did not want his finding. He did not want his discovery or invention and research to be used for destruction purposes. So he was a really good human being. See, he wanted to use scientific discovery and invention for the good purpose and not for bad purpose, not for destruction. In 1938, when Germany discovered the principle of nuclear fission, he was the first person to write to the American president about the dangers of the atomic bombs. So when he came to know in 1938 that Germany was developing nuclear fission, which would be very dangerous to make nuclear bombs, so he informed by writing a letter to the President of the United States of America. But it did not work out. In 1945, when America dropped the atomic bombs on Nagasaki and Hiroshima, he was deeply hurt and wrote it to the United Nations to the formation of a world government to prevent recurrence of such destruction. See, he wanted the United States of America should take some action to establish world peace, but they took a rigorous action by dropping an atomic bomb on Nagasaki and Hiroshima. So by when Albert Einstein came to know about this incident, he was shocked. He was very much hurt because he did not want this kind of destruction to happen in the world. But it really happened. So he was very much sad. So that after that incident, he wrote a letter to the United Nations organization to take some action and to form world government, to make some rules and regulations in the world, so that there will be world peace and not destruction or any war in the world. He spent his later days in politics advocating, spreading world peace and democracy. He died at the age of 76 in the year 1955. So I hope you have understood by going through this summary about Albert Einstein. Now let us go through the word meanings so that we will have better understanding about the lessons when we read the lesson. Destined means fate. Destined means already fixed, already decided in the past. It was already predestined, means it was already decided. Destined, fate. Like here, Albert Einstein was destined to become the great scientist. He was destined to become a good human being. Destined, fate, a predetermined set of events that has to happen in the future. Freak, a word used disapprovingly to talk about a person who is abnormally to talk about a person who is unusual and doesn't behave, look or think like others. That means abnormal person. His own mother called him a freak, an abnormal person to him, because he had a large head. Uttered, spoke. Uttered means spoke. Regimentation, order or discipline taken to an extreme. Liberal, willing to understand and respect others' opinion. Liberal means freedom. There is freedom to speak. Ally means a friend or an associate. Philistines, a word used disapprovingly to talk about people who do not like art, literature or music. The people who do not like art, literature or music, they are considered as Philistines. So this word is used for the people who do not like art, literature or music. Patent, a document which gives the rights of an invention to an inventor. Patent office, here the patent office is used for an office who was allowed to go for research and new invention. Absolute means measured in itself, true to itself, not in relation to anything else. Unraveling, starting to fail. Faltered, becoming weak. Deflected, changed direction because it hit something. Einstein was awarded the Nobel Prize for Physics in the year 1921. Emigrated leave one's own country in order to settle permanently in another. In an uproar, very upset. Missive letter. Missive means letter, especially long and official. So we remember from the summary that he wrote a letter to the United States of America telling about the secret making of atomic bombs by Germany. Second letter he wrote to the United Nations to form world government to establish peace and harmony in the world. Visionary, a person who can think about the future in an original and intelligent way. So here visionary is used for Albert Einstein, who was known as visionary. He had a vision for the people of the future. You can see the picture of cute Albert Einstein when he was a small baby. Albert Einstein was born on 14th March 1879 in the German city of Ulm, without any indication that he was destined for greatness. So it was already pre-decided that he would become a great personality, that he would become a great human being. You can see the picture of Albert Einstein and his sister Maja, and this picture is of Albert Einstein when he was a grown-up young man. Looking at his newborn sister Maja, he is said to have said, "Fine, but where are our wheels? Where are our toys?" Science was not the only thing that appealed to Einstein, who was a very handsome young man. Other than science, he had interest in something else also. He had so many interests. He had interest in mathematics and physics. He had interest in violin. He had interest in human being. He had interest in his girlfriend named Milvia Marek, whom he married, and they had 2 sons. But their marriage did not last long. They got divorced in 1919. In the same year, he married his cousin sister Elsa. He also felt a special interest in a fellow student, Milvia Marek, whom he found to be a clever creature. Milvia was also very intelligent and clever, like Albert Einstein. You can see the picture of Milvia Marek and Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein looked very handsome. They met at the University of Zurich. Milvia Marek belonged to Serbia. Serbia is a country name, a place name. That is why she is called Serb. She came from Serbia to Switzerland because the university in Zurich was one of the few universities in Europe which gave degrees to female students. So she came to get degrees in the university at Zurich. There he met Albert Einstein. So you can see the picture of Albert Einstein in 1900 at the age of 21, and this is Milvia Marek. Albert Einstein wanted to marry Milvia Marek soon after he finished his studies, but his mother Pauline Einstein was against this. So Albert Einstein's mother did not like the idea about his son getting married with Milvia Marek. Einstein married his cousin Elsa the same year. That means Einstein, after getting divorced with Milvia Marek, he got married with his cousin Elsa the same year in 1919. You can see the picture of Albert Einstein receiving the Nobel Prize. Einstein was awarded the Nobel Prize for Physics in the year 1921. You can see the President Roosevelt. Einstein wrote a letter to the American President Franklin D. Here you can see the picture of Nagasaki and Hiroshima, how the mass destruction took place in Japan. These are the 2 cities of Japan, Nagasaki and Hiroshima. You can see the logo of United Nations, missive letter, especially long and official. He wrote an official letter to the United Nations organizations, and you can see again the picture of Albert Einstein. No doubt Albert Einstein was a great human being. He was a scientist. He loved mathematics and physics. He loved violin. He loved human being. He fell in love with Milvia Marek and got married with her. So we came to know many things about this great personality. He was truly a good human being. That's why the writer has chosen the title as A Truly Beautiful Mind. Thank you.